Press the bell icon on the YouTube app to never miss a video from SnG Comedy.
Hello and welcome to the big question with SnG. Katie and I are inside the Star Sports studio today for a very, very special podcast. Katie, who are our guests today?
You may have heard of them. There's one guy, he's Aakash Chopra, former Indian opening batsman, and
Some other fielder.
yeah, he's a former South African cricketer, kind of a legend, right? Legend?
Yeah, legend. Bit of a legend. Anyway, we don't have big questions, but we have a bunch of tiny small questions that we asked them. So let's go check it out.
All right, hello. We are now sitting here with two really dapper gentlemen, Aakash Chopra and Jonty Rhodes.
Very
guys,
dapper.
how are you guys doing?
Good, thank you.
Looking very nice, looking very fresh.
Well, see, I can't say for Jonty. Jonty is a good-looking man. I'm making up for the lack of looks. So I need to dress up better to just be presentable.
All right, so big game, India, South Africa.
Yeah?
How are you guys feeling?
What? No.
What?
It's basically a quarter-final, right?
Yeah, it is. Effectively is a quarter final.
Are you guys getting along okay? Is there any like heat in the environment, like pressure?
No. Jonty is a very nice guy.
Yeah.
His daughter's name is India. How can he actually be?
That's true.
And he
No
lives.
Yeah, talking about that, Jonty. So, are you going to name your next kid Mumbai?
No, unfortunately, there's a trademark, Mumbai Indian. So
Yeah, you can't do that.
I got half of it. So I got the India part. But no, we've just had a boy. His name
congratulations.
is Nathan. Thank you. His name is not Bharat, it's Nathan.
Nathan.
So,
All right, Nathan.
So
Nathan.
15 days old.
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah, so I've been at the studio this morning, trying hard not to get the sleep out the eyes and the puffy bags, because we leave here sometimes at 4 a.m. and kids wake up as they do when they're 15 days old at
That must
7
be
in the
tough.
morning.
So both fathers here. How is
Yes.
it juggling like 20-hour work days with kids at home?
I'll tell you what happens. So I stay not too far from where we are currently because of the same reason that if you reach your home at say 4 a.m. and you have to, baby will be up. She is 4.5, but she still gets up at about 7:38. These are her holidays, so slightly later. But still she's up, so you don't get more than 4.5 hours of sleep. So I stay in a hotel. Firstly, so that concept is slightly alien to my daughter. So once she actually turned around and said, you know, Dad, will you come to my home for 5 minutes?
Wow.
And that was it. I told Star Sports,
That's it.
that's it. Enough is enough. I'm going back home. I'm not working.
I'm not doing commentary in Bengali
That
and
is.
Malayalam.
and Tamil and Telugu.
I tried the Tamil.
It's not easy, it's not
Yeah.
easy. So guys, okay, so international cricket versus being a dad and a professional commentator on cricket. What's easier?
Well, my international cricket didn't last that long, so that's okay. so I can tell you. So my international cricket lasted for a year. I have more experience of being a dad. That's 4.5 years. I can vouch for parenting. Parenting is a lot tougher than playing cricket for India. Yes.
Jonty, do you agree?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much about finding a balance. And at this stage, I'm still searching. And I've been retired for 13, 14 years. So I'm still searching hard to find a balance between a work and a home life environment. It is very difficult.
No, so guys, India, South Africa, right? From times that we can remember, there's always been a really heated rivalry. I think back in the day, South Africa used to have the upper hand. Do you think like now they're at par, or India has a slight bit of an edge?
You know, there was rivalry. If they're two good teams, there will be rivalry. But I also feel there was a lot of good camaraderie, respect for each other, and that's what happened. And that goes back from the goodwill tours when India was one of the first teams to visit South Africa, because when the apartheid ended, India was one of the first teams to go there. Great relations between the two countries as well. So that has carried on. And South Africans, they are fantastic people, honestly. People get along really well. They play a lot of IPL as well, so you obviously get along more. And both teams are even Stevens. One day India might just play well and suddenly look like a better team, but on the other day South Africa will beat you black and blue. So these are really good sides, and there is a lot of mutual respect. That's what I feel.
It's awesome. Amazingly diplomatic answer.
Thank you very much. Is it not correct though?
Well,
Jonty, spice it
no,
up. Come on.
Tell me stories there.
No, just from a South Africa versus from a timing point of view, we had 27 years of sporting isolation during apartheid in South Africa. So India invited South Africa back. I think Pakistan and India were about to have interesting conversation in 1991, and the South African team came for 3 matches. I wasn't included. I was invited to come as a spare, being told that obviously I wouldn't play, but let's get back in. This was going to happen. I was writing my university exam, so I said no, thank you.
Okay.
Sport in South Africa and probably around the world at that stage, it wasn't the global phenomenon that it is today, and you couldn't actually make a career out of the game. So my parents are both teachers. University was an important thing for me. I was doing a Bachelor of Commerce degree, and the team that came across lost 2-1 in the 3-match series. But what then happened was we were invited to the World Cup in 1992 in Australia, and that was when Inzamam launched my career. I tripped over the laces, tripped over my shoelaces and fell into the wicket. And a photographer took a great picture. But I mean, the crazy thing...
See, modest people.
That's what happened, huh?
You know, you've given us the best segue because, I mean, I'm sure you've been asked about this same thing a million times.
So let's give it a spin.
Let's give it a spin.
So let's say you're in an elevator, right? And you get, and Inzamam walks in, and the door shuts and goes, wick, and the lights are off. And now you're standing there, he's standing there. What do you tell him? Sorry.
You guys talk about the moment?
Just thank you. Shukriya.
I like it.
Forever, yeah. And throughout, you know, everyone talks about the run out, and I don't like to mention the fact that it was Inzamam too often, because if we had a team talk playing against Pakistan, you go through how to bowl to the opposition and what are you going to do, and generally would say, okay, hold on, let Inzamam run out somebody else and then himself. So, sorry, Inzi. Sometimes he was worth two run outs.
And stats will actually tell you. Stats will actually tell you that
dismissal.
When Inzamam was batting, it wasn't he who was getting run out very often. It was the guy at the other end. So he's right.
You know, one of the funniest cricket videos on the internet is funny Inzamam runouts. There's a compilation of him run out. And I mean, no offense, I love the guy. I love watching him bat. It was so much fun. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I'm curious. Okay, so when I played sports as a kid, I was very superstitious. Did you guys is superstition like a big part of the locker room? First of all.
Yeah, it is. It sadly is. I mean, some guys are worse than others, but I think that the one basic sort of superstition that permeates across many of the sides is if you're in a seat, you don't get up. So if there's a partnership going, a team partnership going, you don't get up out of your chair. So if you need the toilet, you just hang in. You don't move. You do not move. If you want the biscuit, someone who's standing is going to pass it to you. You got to catch it. But there's no way you're allowed to leave your chair.
But this is exactly what we do here too, right?
I hate to tell you, the worst case for me of that being true was the 1999 Cricket World Cup. South Africa were playing Australia, and it was a semi-final. It's a very low-scoring game, and we're out of it. In fact, the boys are already packing their bags to go home. So in Birmingham, some of the games have been there at Edgbaston. The two teams, there's a very thin wall that separates the dressing rooms, and you actually share the same viewing area.
Okay.
So the Australian guys, their 12th and 13th and 14th and 15th, and their coaching staff were going crazy. And Hansie and myself, Bob Wilmer at the time was the coach, and Peter Pollock, who was a convener of selectors. We were the only 4 South Africans watching the game. The rest of the guys were packing they just couldn't watch. They were so upset. And what happened was then Lance Klusener, we needed 9 runs to win in the final over, last wicket. Klusener, those first 2 balls for 4. Great cover drives. And then Hansie and I actually got up out of our chairs. We were going to run on the field and pick him up and drag him. Well, not that I could. Lance was quite a big guy. And his back was this heavy. So there's no way I was going to carry him more. But we actually got out of our chairs, I hate to say. So, superstition. That, I think, is fairly common throughout a lot of the teams. If you're in and you're watching, you don't move. But with regards to personal superstition, putting the pants on, it was more a case of balance. I can't put my right leg in first. Amazingly, I cannot for the life of me. I mean, I'm supposed to be the guy with flexibility and agility. If you had to test me now on I would fall over on the table. Pretend I'm going for my Achilles leg. Is the right leg.
Aakash, do you have any stories? You guys have played in so many locker rooms over the years. There's got to be one that stands out, like that guy did something crazy. And you don't have to take his name. I just want to know what people do.
Quite a few things actually. Like someone like Sunil Gavaskar. When he walked out to bat, no one dare wish him luck. If that happened, he was done. He was done. Sunny Ji, I love him to bits, and he's a wonderful guy to have around, jokes around and everything else. But when he went out to bat, I think there was once when somebody said, good luck, Sunny. He looked, went out, got out, and there were fireworks. So Sunny Ji was one of those guys who just hated that. Pin drop silence, he goes out, do whatever you want.
Wow. And any locker room?
Yeah, we had a guy, Neil McKenzie, who's now currently the batting coach for South Africa. And the toilet seats, all of them in the dressing room had to be down. before he went out to bat. And so no one could get, no one could go to the
my
bathroom.
girlfriend.
And then also when he got out, he wouldn't cross line, so he would stand there and tap. I mean, I don't know the routine, but he had this incredible routine where he wouldn't break the line. So with the creases, he had to get over it somehow. It was just, I mean, I haven't got enough time to try and remember it.
There was this one guy in first class circuit named Rajiv Nair, used to play for Himachal. He's got some first class records to his name. Used to bat for hours, in fact days. So he would take a circle. He would just go around the stumps after every ball that he played. Every ball that he played, and there were times when he played about 600 balls in a first class inning.
He dug a hole.
So every time would go. So what people would do, they'll stand between the stumps. So now you have to go around it, and he'll wait, and he'll wait. That okay, you move, then only I'll pass. It was just hilarious. Ishant Sharma hasn't had a haircut, by the way.
So he has his hair shortened.
No, he hasn't. He's
so that's
not getting longer.
Yeah, he's not getting. So what happened? Once he got them cut, and no wickets. Go back to grow your hair, and that's where they stayed. So,
wow,
everyone.
My school vice captain and the cricket team wore the same pair of socks for the whole tournament, and I think 2 matches back to back he didn't wash him. So we're like, listen, buddy, I don't know who this is good luck for, because it's bad luck for us here. So and he got out.
So a good strategy. The keeper will be like, balls go.
I'm surprised he wasn't falling. Okay, going back to fielding, Jonty. Like I've noticed, Aakash, tell me if you agree with me. Like back in the 90s, right? When every time the Indian team fielded, we used to do this one typical thing. So somebody hits the ball, it's going through the covers. The cover fielder can't reach it, so he would always like point out. Arey bhai, tu le le. Like one of the two guys. So this was a thing, but now this new lot of cricketers who's emerged, you can't get the ball past them. I mean, it's incredible the way this has happened. What do you think has really sort of pushed?
He started it.
I
remember
1992,
India stole to South Africa. That was 92, 93, something like that. And so people came back. I was still like, I just started playing properly. So we had people from our club who went and played for India and were a part of that tour. So they actually in the dressing room decided that if you cut, you don't run. There is a ball there, irrespective of where the ball has gone. If you cut, you just do not run, because there is a man called Jonty Rhodes, and you'll regret. So he started it. He is the pioneer. So
I gotta ask, Jonty, I gotta ask you, like, so fielding something, you know, when I started watching, I came to consciousness as a human being, 92 World Cup, and I saw Inzamam's run out and all that. No one talked about fielding. Like, it was okay, a good catch, bad catch. What was the mindset that I'm going to make fielding a talking point? Was that what was going on? What was the?
Not even a good question, because I had done that as a boy growing up. Firstly we have lawn. We have space in South Africa.
I think that's
grass.
That's the key. That's the key.
The guys in the West Indies, they have grass, but they smoke it. We got grass. we dive on it. We dive on it. So the guys, I mean, you talk about from a fielding point of view. When I did that dive in the World Cup in '92, Australia already then had their academies, and they were very scientific in their approach to how the game is played and their preparation. And they sort of wanted to know, what's my training regime like, and what are my meals, my diet. Get to the West Indies and they just want to know, man, what are you smoking? They really thought I was elevated at a different level for a different reason. An ideal, I mean, my brother was wicketkeeper batsman. My older brother was more of a canoeist and a sailor. So we weren't all exactly the same. And the fielding aspect of it, the dive into the stumps was just something that I'd been doing in the backyard as a kid. So I was really surprised.
New for you.
I just was surprised. The guys were saying, well, did you plan this and how did you train for that? I said, no, it felt like the right thing to do. And Steve Bucknor, the umpire from the West Indies, could have rightly, in his own right, said not out, because, I mean, it was just out. And in those days, they generally gave the benefit of the doubt to the batsman. And that's why I thought I was a really bad thrower of the ball at the stumps as opposed to throw of myself at the stumps. Because if you want to run somebody out, there had to be at least a meter out before the umpire gave you, the fielder, the benefit of the doubt. So that was the one thing that Bob Wilmer, as a coach of South Africa from sort of 95 onwards, then once the third umpire had been sort of introduced into the game, he just said, Jonty, aramse. Get the ball, aramse. One more step, X step, then throw. Even
Jonty,
2 steps.
your name has become...
It's an adjective, right? So when we play gully cricket and anyone feels really well,
hey, Jonty! So you literally say that. In fact, not just gully cricket, even in actual international commentaries, Navjot Singh Sidhu, that one time he took a diving catch, they renamed him Jonty Singh.
But you're a product of your environment. You see, you see people in Mumbai. Why did Mumbai produce some of the finest batsmen that the world has ever seen? Because the streets are so narrow. You play down the ground all the time. You play in the V. So that's the way it is. Anything wide, just leave it because there are no runs that way. So you're a product of your environment. We never had grass.
That's interesting.
Either to smoke or to field.
We had dust bowls. I remember playing as a kid and just swerving. We all remember this. Azad Maidan, just like.
Listen, I drive past and I said, like in Zimam, I said thank you to the dust bowls. It gives me work in India.
Yeah, for sure. No, but so in terms of India-South Africa matches, which is Jonty, we'll start with you. Which has been your most memorable game that India has played against South Africa?
Surprisingly, I'm not very good with cricket stats. You know,
really?
we've had Hansi Cronje and Sean Pollock as captains who were captain in my playing day, and we would arrive at a tour match in a venue in India. Or anywhere around the world, and they'd say, I remember this game, and you saved the ball, or you scored 20. It wasn't a big score, but it helped swing the game. And I would go, I don't even remember being here. You know, so I don't have that sort of mindset. But the one game I cannot forget, South Africa versus India, it happened to be the day that I caught Sachin Tendulkar a diving catch in Durban, and I reverse cupped the ball, grabbed it like that, and everyone went, oh no, it's touched the ground. I said, well, just because an Indian couldn't catch it doesn't mean that a South African can't catch it. So that's the only game I remember, South Africa versus India, because everyone keeps telling me Sachin wasn't out. Okay, well.
What about you, Aakash? What's your favorite moment or match?
Last World Cup, 2015 World Cup, the game was in Melbourne. MCG, yes, Dhawan getting the runs. Because personally, I was asked this question before the game, who do you think are starting as favourites? That's South Africa. These are Australian conditions. South African players are more used to these conditions than we are, and therefore I backed South Africa to beat India. Being an Indian, I was criticized for saying that as well, and eventually happy to just chew my words, because India did play exceedingly well. It was a one-sided game in the end, and I think one thing that stands out was a run out
from the boundary.
From the boundary, and AB de Villiers was run out off from like MCG. There was a time when
couldn't reach.
We had to relay it. Not just once. Exactly.
Pass the parcel.
Exactly. So what to do? But this is how we were, and now you are running out from the fence. One of the fastest movers on the cricket pitch. I thought that was the highlight of that game, and for me, India, South Africa.
Yeah. Do you guys remember that game? Because that's my favorite game, and that's the reason I asked this question.
And I shared this.
There was it was India versus South Africa in '96. I think. It was Titan Cup finals.
Yeah, I think
semi-final. Sorry, final was India Australia.
Tendulkar had to bowl the last.
I remember Azhar looking around, and he's like, you know what, this guy. So if anything happens, no one's gonna say shit.
Yeah, you have to. He's playing it safe. Give it to Tendulkar. So if you lose,
and he won it, man. I mean, you can't.
Alan Donald was batting.
Yes.
Brian McMillan. I remember that very clearly.
Correct.
Donald could not hit the ball. He was lucky not to get out, but I think Sachin was just keeping the ball away from the wickets. So Brian McMillan on the other end didn't get to. I don't think he faced a delivery.
So we're comedians, right? So we need to know the funniest cricketer that you've ever played with. The funniest guy you've ever played with.
For me, pretty tough. I mean, I shared with someone, Lance Klusener. You might remember him.
A little bit.
I can't even imagine Lance is funny off field, because when you see him on the ground.
I mean, the most amazing thing was that I shared a room with him for 3 years. So, and if he said, and this is not the funny part, I mean, he said 3 words in those 3 years, it was a lot. He literally didn't open, I mean, he would, so people would say he's quite reserved and shy, and you would see that part of him. But in the team environment, in the dressing room, and on the team buses, he just had the knack of saying the funniest things at the right, and just so subtle. In fact, you'd have to kind of look up and go, did you say that? Did you really mean what you said? Or was that tongue-in-cheek? So, you know, not one particular moment, but just throughout his career, he just dropped these little one-liners everywhere.
Virat Kohli, I think he mimics and imitates everyone.
Oh, really?
He is just sensational. He'll actually stand and will imitate the stance, and will ask you to guess the player.
I do this.
And he does
I do
that.
this.
But he's brilliant.
Yeah. So he connects it exactly.
Outstanding in front of everyone. They go, Sachin, you stop like this and you do like that, and Yuvraj Singh, and then somebody else, and then somebody else. He is. At least he used to be. I don't know how he is as a captain in the dressing room now. Might be a little more.
This is from the back in Delhi,
the Ranji
Delhi
Trophy
times?
days, Ranji Trophy days, and early India days. But now things may have changed. I don't know.
Another moment that comes to my mind when I talk about India South Africa, and I think that's one catch which you tell me if you would have been able to take. It's the catch of Adam Barker.
Oh yeah, Sachin Tendulkar.
Which he
took
took
once again.
It
was just sensational.
I think that was no. He could not even see the ball at that point. It was kind of just like stuck in his hand or something.
The interesting thing now is that when you work in T20 cricket, you know, defending the boundary is an important part. Something that I never had to do as a fielder. I was always a backward point, or if the spinners were on, short cover, short mid wicket. Just to be wherever the ball was going to be, I wanted to be. So from that point of view, you know, I never had to have that sort of skill, which it has become a skill now. You watch. Martin Guptill took an incredible catch at Wankhede a couple of weeks back. Incredible dismissal. Pollard has done the same for us. And the guys are doing, it's not just international players, it's the local guys too. And defending the boundary and taking those one-handed blinders. So it's almost, people
do you
say
do some of
great
these
catch,
drills?
But when, we do.
With the players?
Cricket is about memory.
Right.
So
so if you've done this before,
if you start thinking on the field, you're in trouble. I keep telling people, that's why Jacques Kallis is an incredible batsman, because doesn't think. Off the field either, he doesn't think. He's just the same. Sorry, Jacques.
That's interesting what you're saying, because how people used to field around the 30-yard circle, that's how they field on the boundary now. That's kind of what's happened,
You defend the boundary. I mean, you used to stop the ball getting out the circle. Now you're stopping the ball getting out the big circle. And that catch from Adam Bacher was in I think he got it wrong. He came in and recovered behind. But one hand caught it, rolled back over, sort of a backward somersault.
Do you sit and watch your own catches sometimes?
I get the odd Facebook tag, Jonty Rhodes' 6 catches or
and Jonty Rhodes likes this.
Yeah, Jonty Rhodes likes this.
Who is that handsome guy?
And shares.
Thank you so much, Jonty. Thank you so much, Aakash, for joining us. This was a lot of fun.
This was a total fanboy moment for you guys. Total.
Can you please get selfies now?
Thank
you.
No.
No? Okay.
No. Charge extra for that.